Section 8, Clause 17 of the U.S. Constitution, quoted as follows: "The Congress should have the power to exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever over such district not exceeding 10 miles square as may be by cession of particular states and acceptance of Congress become the seat of government of the United States District of Columbia, and to exercise like authority over all places purchased by the consent of the legislature of the state in which the same shall be for the erection of forts, magazines, arsenals, dockyards, and other needful buildings, and to make all lawful which shall be necessary and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing powers." In Article 4, Section 8, Clause 2, the Congress shall have power to dispose of and make all needful rules and regulations respecting the territory or other property belonging to the United States, and nothing in the Constitution shall be so construed as to prejudice any claims, page 12, of the United States or any or of any particular state. The definition of the United States being used here then is limited to its territories: 1. The District of Columbia; 2. Commonwealth of Puerto Rico; 3. U.S. Virgin Islands; 4. Guam; 5. American Samoa; 6. Northern Mariana Islands; 7. Trust Territory of the Pacific Islands; 8. Military bases within the 50 states; 9. Federal agencies within the 50 states, including U.S. post offices. It does not include the 50 states themselves, as is confirmed by the following cites. We have in our political system a government of the United States and a government of the several states. Each one of these governments is distinct from the other, and each has citizens of its own who owe it allegiances, and whose rights within its jurisdiction it must protect. The same person must be at the same time a citizen of the may be at the same time a citizen of the United States and a citizen of a state, but his rights of citizenship under one of these governments will be different from those he has under the other. Page 13. Slaughterhouse Cases, United States versus Cruikshank, 92 U.S. 542, 1875. The United States government is a foreign corporation with respect to a state. Volume 20, Corpus Juris, Section 1785, N.Y. Reed, Merriam 36, N.E. 505, 1441, S. C.T. 1973, 41, L.E.D. 287. This is further confirmed by the following quote from the Internal Revenue Service. Federal jurisdiction includes the District of Columbia, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, and American Samoa. Internal Revenue Code Section 312E. In legal terminology, the word include means is limited to, when referring to this district, United States. The Internal Revenue Code uses the term within the United States when referring to the 50 states. The Internal Revenue Code uses the term without the United States. Dozens, perhaps hundreds of court cases prove that federal jurisdiction is limited to the few federal territory areas above indicated. For example, in two Supreme Court cases, it was decided the laws of Congress in respect to those matters do not extend into the territorial limits of the states, but have force only in the District of Columbia and only places that are within the exclusive jurisdiction of the, page 14, national government. Cahill versus United States 152 U.S. 215. We think a proper examination of the subject will show that the United States never held any municipal sovereignty, jurisdiction, or right of soil in and to the territory of which Alabama or any of the new states were formed. 44 U.S. at 221. Because the United States have no constitutional capacity to exercise municipal jurisdiction, sovereignty expressly granted. 44 U.S. at 223. Alabama is therefore entitled to the sovereignty and jurisdiction over all the territory within our limits subject to common law. 44 U.S. at 228, 229, Pollard versus Hagen 4 U.S. 221, 223, 228, 229. Likewise, Title 18 of the United States Code of Section 7 specifies that the territory jurisdiction of the United States extends only outside the boundaries of lands belonging to any of the 50 states. Therefore, in addition to the fact that no unrevealed federal contract can obligate me to perform in any manner without my fully informed and uncoerced consent, likewise, no federal laws apply to me or have any jurisdiction over me. I hereby affirm that I do not reside or work in any federal territory of the district, page 15, United States, and that thereof no U.S. federal government laws have any authority over me. My use of the United States Postal Service to receive mail is under threat, duress, and coercion per federal law, which asserts that this service must be used rather than private commercial delivery services. In receipt of mail addressed with two letters capitalized federal zone abbreviations, example HI, or numeric federal zone, designations, zip codes, example 96746, does not place me in any federal zone nor federal jurisdiction, for despite repeated pleas to those who send mail to me, they have been brainwashed in compulsory state brainwashing centers, public schools, and assist in cannibalizing the format of my mailing location into a federal zone format. And in fact, the process has been embodied in most computer software, making it nearly impossible to receive necessary communications at my mailing location rather than at a federal zone address that is further enforced under threat, duress, and coercion, and that local post office refuses to deliver to general delivery for longer than 30 days. Page 16. Thus be known to all in the nature of UCC 1-308 that I reserve my natural common law right not to be compelled to perform under any contract of adhesion that I did not enter into knowingly, voluntarily, intentionally, and furthermore I do not accept the liability associated with the compelled intended benefits of any hidden or unrevealed contract or commercial agreement, and specifically I refuse to be included in any federal zone as such. The hidden or unrevealed contracts that supposedly create obligations to perform for persons of subject status are inapplicable to me and are null and void. If I have participated in any of the supposed benefits associated with these hidden contracts, I have done so under duress for lack of any other practical alternative. Revocation of power of attorney. Furthermore, I hereby revoke, rescind, and make void ab initio all powers of attorney in fact or otherwise implied in law or otherwise signed by me or anyone else as it pertains to the government identification number previously assigned to me as it pertains. Page 17. To my birth certificate or any other license or certificates issued by any and all government or quasi-governmental entities due to the use of various elements of fraud by said agencies to attempt to deprive me of my sovereignty or property. I hereby waive, cancel, repudiate, and refuse to knowingly accept any alleged benefit or gratuity associated with any of the aforementioned licenses, numbers, or certificates. I do hereby revoke and rescind all power of attorney, in fact, otherwise signed by me or otherwise implied in law or otherwise with or without my consent or knowledge as it pertains to any and all property, real or private, corporal or incorporeal, obtained in the past, present, or future. I am the sole legal owner and possess a loyal title to any and all such property, including but not limited to my physical human body. I affirm that all the foregoing is true and correct. I affirm that I am of lawful age and I am competent to make this affidavit. I hereby affix my own signature to all my affirmations in this entire document with explicit reservation of all my unalienable, page 18, rights and my specific common law right not to be bound by any contract or obligation which I have not entered into knowingly, willingly, voluntarily, and without misrepresentation, duress, or coercion. Wherefore, defendant prays for the foregoing speedy relief without malice or mischief, and sincerity and honor. No assured value, no liability, errors and omissions accepted. All rights reserved without recourse, non-subspice. Further affiant saith not. Subscribed and sworn without prejudice as said in the Uniform Commercial Code 1-308, Jeffery McBride Jr., Principal, by special appearance in corporea persona, proceeding sue juris, my hand and mark as subscriber, date July 9th, 2016, common law seal of natural persons, Jeffery McBride, signing by accommodation for Jeffery McBride on this 9th day of July, year 2016.